Hello, it is Friday, November 25th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Friday puzzle today, so a themeless puzzle. Our first of two for the week, and this themeless edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Joseph Schwalbach, Joe Percy, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Shulmaster. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support in sustaining this channel and this series. I do very much appreciate it. So thank you to them. And if you'd like to become a benefactor yourself and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/Daily Solve, or in a link in the description field underneath the video, where, of course, you can also become a patron at any level and get all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. I have just solved yesterday, I solved another acrostic puzzle as requested by a patron, and I'll wait to put that up because I did post a Bosswords puzzle yesterday, so there's a Bosswords puzzle up on the channel, and actually did okay. Not it was one of my sort of mid-tier performances. But then today will be the mini puzzle speed solve, and so I'll probably wait till tomorrow to post the acrostic. That one I really enjoyed. Had an absolutely great time solving it. It was sort of a puzzle-like experience in a way that the crossword is just a different sort of thing. But really enjoyed that one. It'll go up tomorrow, I think. All right, so let's see. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server in a link in the description field. And now let's get on to today's puzzle. So this is a Friday crossword, as noted. So it's themeless, and it was constructed by Simon Murat, who's constructed around half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, of course, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving. Book of Legends. Book of Legends. I feel as though I should be able to get that, but I don't know why I can't. Range across 8 countries. It could be the Alps, the mountain range. That would be my guess. 8 countries. 8 European countries in this case. Artful could be sly. And like a ne'er-do-well. Ending with a Y makes sense as an adjective. What about this? Travail. A toil? And travail is from work in French, although it has obviously a slightly different meaning in English. Okay, let's see. Book of Legends. Oh, is it an atlas? So it means legends in the sense that you'll get a legend on a map, a sort of inset legend indicating the various symbols and lines and elements on the map. I think that must be what that's about. Okay, so ne'er-do-well is lazy, maybe? And a shaping tool could be an awl in woodworking, or in leatherworking, for instance. Funny bones. Or it could be an odds, actually, as well. I'm just saying that because when I was looking at here, if this is lazy, which I'm not 100% sure about, yes, these crosses just look better. So I think that is an odds, not an all. Okay. And that makes more sense for shaping, I suppose. Cheesy snack pockets. Or pizza something? Funny bones. Question mark. Closed up. Just going to put the ED there to see if it helps me visualize what this is. Don't think it does. Let's look elsewhere. List of players. The cast or the credits, maybe? No, that's too long. List of players. Oh, team roster, maybe? Players in a game. Closed up, snared. Sword. Problem for a plumber. A clog in a drain pipe. Or something. Cheesy snack pockets. Pizza what? Tick off. Annoy or complete. It could be either of those meanings. What about this? Organization originally founded to support conscientious objectors. Maybe roster's wrong. I'm just not, none of these things are feeling appropriate. I guess clog, that, yeah. What would have been an organization originally founded to support conscientious objections? The ACLU, maybe? Just trying to think of organizations that I could imagine having been involved in such an aim, in 4 letters specifically. I'm going to just put it in for a moment and see if I can confirm it. Site of 2012's Woman, Life, Freedom. Oh, sure. Well, that's Iran. That's the motto of the Iranian protesters presently. Woman, Life, Freedom. Okay. Tick off. Rile, to annoy somebody, to rile them, tick them off. There we go. Okay, so maybe this is, oh, pizza rolls, I guess. Okay, there we go. There we go, there we go. And whiners, you can't make me. I won't do it. No, but I won't looks pretty plausible. What is this funny bones? Load. I just cannot see what this is. Loads twice? Is there some way in which funny and bones each means twice? I don't think so. Okay, I mean, sorry, each means loads. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. I don't think so, though. Problem for a plumber. Oh, it's not a clog anymore. It's a drip. A drip could be a problem for a plumber, right? And loaded dice? Oh, maybe it's not I won't, but I don't. Right, loaded dice, because bones are dice. And if they're loaded, you could say, oh, they're funny, they're loaded. Someone's cheating here. Okay, there we go. Closed up, sealed, right, of course. And a list of players is a lineup, not a roster, but, well, also a roster, but not in this case. So, coffee brewing portmanteau, oh, Nespresso. It's a brand of espresso, I guess both coffee and coffee makers. Okay, expressed joy in a way, wept, potentially. And balls up, wads up, some, I don't know, tissue or something. Sour is, I was going to say acrid, but we have an A here. That really does look right with balls up with a W specifically. I should probably delete this down, just in case. The Mayans, Chichen Itza example. Ruins, I guess? Trying to think if there's something that it could be that is more specific, but in 5 letters starting with an R, I mean, it is accurately, you could describe it as ruins. Let's check the crosses on that. Megan Rapinoe's team, she plays for the USA national football team, right? So she's still an active player? I don't know. Presumably? Okay. Enlist. Enroll, sign up. Join in? Maybe? Join in sounds much less formal to me than enlist. Join in sounds like you join into a pickup game with some friends as opposed to you kind of sign up for the military or something, which is what enlist sounds like. But let's just look. Biryani base. Okay, it's not join in. I was right to be skeptical because biryani is a rice dish. Green giant, maybe. I don't know what that means. Enlist. Recruit? No. Sort of works with that I if there had been one more letter in here. Beats me. I don't know. I'm mule, e.g. I mean, mule is obviously an animal. It's sometimes used in that way, metaphorically, to mean a person who transports things. It's also a type of cocktail, a sort of category of cocktail, the Moscow Mule being the original one. But I'm not sure. Wrigley. Ely? Is there any way that's possibly the answer? Green giant, maybe. Blank party. Pool party. Oh, yeah, with that L, that could be pool party. Weird. Ely. I wonder if that's actually right. So enlist is, oh, rope in. You rope somebody in, you enlist them. Okay, fair enough, that works. Green Giant maybe is something. And site for artisans is Etsy, people who make things. Mule, e.g. Oh, is a crossbred animal, right. So a crossbreed breeds me. I'm, this looks strange, doesn't it? Let's come back to that. Balls up, wads up. Costumer's measurement. Waist, maybe? London has a royal one. London, there are so many royal things in London you would not even believe. I mean, I guess one of them is the Albert Hall. That would probably fit this. It's just funny because that is an almost infinite list. Sour is touch for one. Maybe this isn't waste. Ohio Sluggers. Maybe this isn't Albert Hall. I mean, again, there are many possibilities. Royal Borough of Greenwich. Sample. C? Enjoyed oneself tremendous. Now I'm doubting both of these answers because I'm just not seeing anything. Probably at least one of them is correct, I would suspect, but let's come back to it. Port authorities. Wine snobs? Right, there we go. That's a very clever misdirecting clue. So obviously Port Authority sounds like the people who govern a port, of a city. But I was doubtful of that because of the question mark indicating punnery. And so I figured maybe port means wine, and it does in this case, wine snobs. So you can't make me, I don't wanna. There we go. That's what you can't make me is. And actress Tomei's Marissa Tomei. Oscar winner Marissa Tomei. And then classic Camaro's, IROX. This has come up in the puzzle before, actually. And canoodles in England, snogs. So that is very common slang from here in Britain. And late assignment is a night shift, I suppose. Yeah. Garment that's pulled over the head, a poncho. Could be pulled over the head, a rain poncho. Annual bodybuilding competition won 10 times by Iris Kyle. Looks like Ms. something. Ms. What? It'll probably be a location. I don't know. And Reading Rainbow Error. Oh, I used to watch that with LeVar Burton. It's a children's reading. I don't even remember what was on it, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I remember liking it. It was some kind of reading-themed children's program. Anyway, presumably, it must have been PBS, Public Broadcasting System in the U.S. And a rocking toy to a tot could be I was going to say horse, just horse, but a horsey, because I actually, just the other day, horsey was spelled in this manner in the crossword. And I remember observing at the time, I would have spelled it probably with an EY at the end. But apparently this is, now we have multiple pieces of evidence that this is acceptable in the New York Times crossword, so fair enough. Okay, so who is this? Ms. Well, what is the ceremonial title given to this competitor, this winner? Olympus, Olympia, or Olympus. Which do I think it is? I'll leave it there for now. That gives me some crosses. So enjoyed oneself tremendously, had a blast. Oh, neither of my guesses was correct. Neither the Royal Albert Hall nor customer's measurement. So what is this? What about this one? Purchase for a creative kid an art set or an art kit. Could be either of those. Each ends with a T. Heated competition. A swim meet, maybe? A meet? Puritanical. Prim? Prim doesn't feel severe enough for puritanical to me, so I don't know if that's right. Sulk. Pout? Maybe it is. Barbecue blends. A rub. Dry rub, for instance, for meat. And a purchase for a creative kit is an art set. Cruise stop often could be an aisle. Okay, that's all working out. Performer whose face is rarely seen, a body double. Right, ideally you would not see their face. Sample, to try something is to sample it. Oh, Royal Opera House. Okay, fair enough. The Royal Opera House in Covent Garden. I mean, fair enough. This is what I mean. There are essentially an infinite number of things in London that are royal this or that. I mean, they're just genuinely, the list goes on forever. The reason I thought Albert Hall was a pretty good guess is because people always actually say the Royal Albert Hall. You don't necessarily say the Royal Opera House. You might just say the Opera House or Covent Garden or, the Opera House at Covent Garden or any combination of those things. But yeah, I can't deny this is an accurate answer. So Ohio Sluggers are... I am not seeing what that is. And a costumer's measurement is... Did I say customer at one point? I probably did. Costumer's measurement is... Oh, girth, maybe? Ohio Sluggers Reds. Oh, that must be a team name, of course. And then Touch for One, an iPod Touch, which I think is now discontinued. And, oh, for something to sour, it's a verb. It will go bad. I was completely not on track with that. I mean, that's pretty good to use a word like that as a verb rather than an adjective, sorry. I guess it could be a noun as well if it were a cocktail in the vein of mule. Okay, balls up, wads up, that was correct. After all, actress Spacek, sissy Spacek, and upper arm muscle for short, try for triceps. Blank gone, Hall & Oates hit, she's gone. And beats me is... I got nothing. I got nothing. I see why I was having trouble with that. That was another pretty good one. Green Giant maybe could be an ogre, sure. And quiches, e.g., are essentially pies, you could say. So blank folder, spam folder in the email inbox. And tan is sandy color. Title girl of the 1957 Dale Hawkins hit. This is probably right, but I'm going to delete it for now because I'm just not sure and I want to remember that I'm not. Film about fish tanks. Swim? Film about... Oh, scum. Scum that forms on fish tanks. A sort of film, a scummy film. Okay, there we go. Psychologist Carl Jung. Psychologist... sort of Jungian analysis and that kind of thing. Some coffee or ice cream orders are mochas. And like some contraceptives are taken orally. Please, can I, you might ask? Animal that's more akin to a squirrel than a canine, despite its name, a prairie dog. That makes sense. They sort of seem like squirrels. Okay, annual Miss... I still don't know if this is Olympia or Olympus. Bond issuer. Oh, Ian Fleming. I was thinking neither I nor you seems very likely here, but of course as a name, I is perfectly plausible for Ian Fleming, the creator of James Bond. And then Olympia came down, Alit landed, came down. And, oh, Susie Q, right, of course, the song Susie Q. And campus squares are quads, so, refer to the big, quadrangle, essentially is what a quad is short for. Okay, creature frequently depicted in Indigenous Australian art, emu, and blank Victoria, singer known for her gothic blues style. I'm not sure about that one. Setting for many a Monet painting, a pond. Monet famously painted water lilies, so often ponds. And they're fit to be dyed are eggs. You could dye eggs for Easter, and to parrot what somebody's been saying is to ape it. And so, Adia Victoria, I suppose. There we go. That was a great Friday puzzle, I think. Really nice, some really good, I think, very fair misdirection. I like these very simple things like go bad, sour. This is the sort of clue that trains me. I mean, this isn't a sort of pun or anything like that, but it's the kind of clue that trains you to constantly be thinking of different senses of a word, which is just so incredibly important in the crossword. And this is an example of how easy it is to forget to do that because you see sour, and I would estimate 90-some% of the time in general English speech, sour is used as an adjective rather than a verb, but it is also a verb. So we do need to have it there, and it's just important to keep that kind of thing in mind. I think it's also just good for one's vocabulary to remember those things, but I don't know. That's just a thought. Okay. What else did I enjoy? Funny bones, loaded dice, that's very good. And port authorities, wine snobs, that's great. That's really clever. What else? What else? Trying to think if there were... Oh, bond issuer Ian Fleming, that's very clever. I'm looking at the long ones because those tend to be where these come in. The Royal Opera House. I mean, yeah, that was nothing misdirected about that. It was just sort of... It was interesting that Albert Hall fit there. Is there even a single shared letter? There isn't. Wow. Anyway, there we go. I think that was a really nice, solid Friday themeless puzzle, and not brutally difficult, which is I think always nice, especially on a Friday, because that's kind of Saturday's role, is to be the tough themeless. But there we go. That was it. Let me know how you fared. And today I do have a few clues from yesterday's puzzle, so let's go over those. We have first from ZOR95, who explains, well, what I think I read as Savage X Fenty, which ZOR95 believes is said, pronounced Savage by Fenty, so the brand is sort of Savage by Fenty, is the lingerie brand founded by the singer Rihanna. Full name, Robin Rihanna Fenty. So there we go. Fenty is her name. And in the context of being a figure in the fashion and beauty industry, which is what she's been focusing on for the past few years, not releasing a song for years before the song Lift Me Up from the Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack. That's how she's been known. So, Savage by Fenty, Robin Rihanna Fenty. There we go. Thank you for that clarification. And Brian Parente points out, I should have remembered this, but I didn't. A small thing, 8 down is not pronounced Ole Coltrane, but rather the Spanish word Ole Coltrane. And now that you say it, I can actually picture the album cover in my mind, but I just haven't heard that album in many, many years. Thank you for that. And Christopher Zurcher points out, in case it comes up in a future puzzle, the rapper who was clued in yesterday's puzzle was Earl Sweatshirt. You didn't read it out when you solved Smells, which I guess would have led to the crosses on that one. I suspected it was Earl Sweatshirt, but I wasn't familiar with the name, so I didn't know. So thank you for that. Good reminder to check those when I get crosses. And there we have it. That was the puzzle for Friday and some clues from yesterday. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back tomorrow for the Saturday puzzle, that trickier themeless crossword. Hope you join me. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Friday. Take care.